The stars are aligning for those Dallas Cowboys, Stephen A. With the #1 seed in the NFC, the playoffs will run through Jerry's world. But first, wild card weekend. Who will face America's team? Aaron Rodgers thinks his squad has a very good shot.
Yeah, we've been a part of some pretty special playoff games over the years. Some pretty high highs and some pretty disappointing lows throughout it. And, it's fun to be a part of it. And, being the 4th seed, anybody can win it. We were the 6th seed and won it. The Giants have been a higher seed and won it before. So we're pretty hot right now. And usually the teams that are hottest and can stay healthy are the teams that are there in the end.
Green Bay is favored over the Giants, but keep in mind, Eli Manning and Rodgers have the same amount of playoff wins at Lambeau. How about that, Max Kellerman? The Cowboys have already beaten the Packers in Green Bay. That would be 30-16. And the G-Men, they've defeated the Cowboys, I think, how many times this season? Oh, twice.
I don't know what you're talking
Both
about.
times.
Now, I
and
didn't
you know
major
who's here
in
now?
math.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't major in math, but let me just think about this. Are we dealing with base 10? Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
Who won the division? Does it matter?
Yeah.
Who won the division?
Look who's
Oh,
here.
the
I'm just
division.
saying.
Oh,
I'm just
the
saying.
division.
Who won the division? We're talking about that's peanuts.
It's
We
so
won the
nice
division.
to
wanna
have
see
our
them.
Cowboys super fans here, and Darren Woodson and Will Kane.
That's a dig at Darren. That's a dig at Darren.
I see you, Molly.
I'm teasing you. It's all love. All right, I want to start with you here. Who do you think Dallas should fear the most, Darren?
New York Giants. I think it's simple. I mean, we've seen this play out in, was it 2008? Cowboys go 13-3. Giants come into town with Michael Strahan and that defense. And what happens? They end up winning that game in Dallas. And Dallas was division title, division champs, and we're supposed to go on. I think the fear is this. The New York Giants defense is built to beat the Dallas Cowboys. They stop the running game. They control the running game. They don't stop the running game completely, but they control them as far as controlling the line of scrimmage. And the Giants' corners match up with the Cowboys' 3 wide receiver sets. When you have Cromartie in the slot, he matches up with Beasley. When you have Janoris Jenkins, who matches up with Dez Bryant on the outside. And on the other side, you got Eli Apple, who's, as a rookie, has played extremely well the last 6 games. He matches up with Terrence Williams. It's hard for Dak Prescott to throw into windows when there's tight man-to-man coverage, and that's what the Giants provide. The Cowboys are strong when they can offset you by running the ball at you and then get to 3rd and 3 and then complete those passes to Beasley. Cromartie shuts that down. I think that's the hardest, toughest matchup for the Cowboys right now.
Is this a trick question? I mean, you have a Cowboys team that played the Giants. Like they lost at the end of the year to the Eagles, but they had nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Come on. They lost twice, really, in the regular season. Both times to the Giants, who, by the way, early in the season didn't have this elite defense, but over the, you could say, second half of the season, probably have the best defense in the NFL. They don't give up points to the Cowboys, to the Lions, to Washington, to whomever. They don't give up points. That's the Giants, who've already beaten them twice. And by the way, now they're going to take Eli Manning, according to Nate Silver, not just me, Nate Silver, the most clutch quarterback in the history of the NFL playoffs. Eli Manning, you're going to give him maybe the best defense in the league, maybe the hottest defense in the league, and now you have Odell Beckham Jr., and they match up well with Dallas, and you want to say, how do you like your chances? Pretty well. Versus Green Bay, where Dallas rolled into Green Bay, went into Lambeau Field, and rolled over the Packers, who have no defense to stop the rush, to stop the run. Ezekiel Elliott ran right through them. He's going to do it again. Green Bay also has no secondary right now. So Aaron Rodgers is all-world. He can beat anybody. You always have to make him a wild, an X factor. Of course, he's maybe the best I've ever seen. But the Giants are the answer to who the Cowboys should fear most, obviously.
How about this for a plot twist? You got us sitting over here looking like we're on the same team, 2 Cowboys fans. I can only imagine what this guy's going to say about his bad men. Now I think we might be on the same side against these 2. It isn't the Giants. It is the Packers. First of all, Darren, as much as I love you, and you should be in the Hall of Fame, you're wrong about 07-08. What happened then is what we hope exactly to happen this year. Cowboys beat the Giants twice that year. Giants roll in the playoffs and beat the Cowboys. That's what I fully expect. That's not what I expect. I expect this to play out like when the Cowboys beat the Eagles twice in the regular season and then did it again in the postseason. This is the year the Cowboys. Here's the thing about the Giants. This is a very simple question. Who can do the most with the least? Aaron Rodgers or Eli Manning? The Cowboys will limit time of possession. They will limit big plays. That's what the Cowboys defense is capable of doing that. The evidence, the stats show it. Do you bet that Aaron Rodgers or Eli Manning can do the most with the least? You have to arrive at Aaron Rodgers. Therefore, the Cowboys have to fear Aaron Rodgers the most. By the way, outside of your 2 years, Eli Manning's something like what? 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions?
Outside of those 2 years.
As an underdog in the playoffs, he's won 7 times. All 7 times he was an underdog in the playoffs, he's won.
Granted, I'm used to fighting 3 of you at one time. I got a teammate here, but you made it apparently 4 against 1.
Sandbagged.
Outside those 2 years, that's 3 other playoff appearances. That's 3 other playoff appearances.
Outside of the 2
2
Super Bowl
touchdowns,
years
6
again.
interceptions.
Say outside of the Super Bowl years again.
It's hard for me to just go here, but there's no way in hell I'm agreeing with you.
I
mean, why would I want to do that? I mean, why would I want to do that? I mean, if anything, listen, I know Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. I know that the Dallas Cowboys' weakness is in their secondary and the fact that, you got to pass and attack. You can make some things happen with them. But when I think about what they should fear, I think it's the Giants. It's not just because of the Giants' familiarity with them. It's not just because the Giants have beaten them twice. It's not just because the Giants and that secondary, it really forces Dak Prescott in tight pockets and makes things a bit harder for him. What it really resonates, where it really resonates with me is the combination of Cruz, Shepard, and Odell Beckham Jr. And when I look at it from that perspective, along with the fact that you're really devoid of but so much of a running game, that you're the New York Giants, you ain't thinking about running the football, but so much you're trying to throw on the Cowboys all night long. And when you have that approach against them, I think it's something that will spell doom for them personally. I think that, and listen, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. He's a bad man. But if
you're
I had to
disrespect him right here,
but
right now.
No.
You're disrespecting him by taking Eli over him.
I'm saying to you, no, I'm not taking Eli over him. What I'm saying to you is that the Giants are a bigger threat to the Cowboys than the Packers.
I have a question for Darren, though. But do you think that the Giants will even be there? Do you think they'll get past the Packers?
No. I don't think they get past the Packers. I'm sorry to tell you.
Look,
I don't, listen,
that's a tough game.
Do you think they're a better matchup, obviously, for the Cowboys than they are against the Packers?
Listen, I think they are a better matchup for
Yeah.
the Cowboys, and it's all about matchups in the NFL. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's almost like boxing. The matchups, they count.
Styles make fights.
That's right. And I think right now, when the Giants go up there to Green Bay, they're going to have to put points on the board. That's the key. I don't know if Eli Manning can generate enough points, and I know he's won 2 games in Lambeau Field, but the way you watch the Giants this entire season, the one guy who's the difference maker is on the outside, and that's Odell Beckham. They don't run the ball successfully. They go on the road. They don't run the ball. You have to run, establish a line of scrimmage.
So it would be good if, like, Green Bay had a problem in the secondary, or, for example, had to now start a rookie wide receiver at corner against Odell, maybe? Would that be a problem?
I mean, that's an absolute problem. It's a matchup. Again, you have to find a way to double them. I just don't know on the offensive side if they're balanced enough to make big plays.
They have no O-line.
I'm afraid your distaste for agreeing with me has really backed you into an illogical corner. I can't believe I sit at this table on a day-to-day basis and face you guys 3-on-1, and you decided on your first week on ESPN, we better go ahead and make this 4-1 and bring out Darren Woodson to argue with Will. Four of you to tell me Eli over Aaron.
You don't get the message sometimes. We have to spell it out.
Here's the problem with your soliloquy. You actually think more than one is required to beat you down?
I'm just looking at the evidence. I'm looking at the evidence.
That's because we happen to be sitting here. We don't need any one of us to take you out. Especially, I mean, please, listen, it's not
called whack-a-mole.
I have watched every single game of the Dallas Cowboys, as I'm sure you have. Those games against the New York Giants, Dak Prescott's performance were aberrations. They weren't witness to something the New York Giants do special versus every other team in the league.
Wait. So Dak is great all year except for these 2 games? And that was just because Dak had a bad game.
Those were aberrations. Number one was his first start ever. What?
Yes. You notice the
one was his first start ever. Throw it out the window. Okay. Second, did you see another game all season like the one he played against the Giants in December? Did you see him play another game like that?
And what does that tell you?
It does not tell me that the Giants.
How did the Lions look? How did Washington look against that defense?
And how dare you hearken back to an October game with the Green Bay Packers? Aaron Rodgers thrown 15 touchdowns and 0 interceptions since that game.
Well, this is your argument.
Defense.
Yes, this is. Yeah, it might be. If you look at a correlation there, it may be the Giants' defense. Just to consider it, maybe. After the segment, you can consider it.
Hey, Will, I love you, man. I love you, and I want to be on your side. You're a Texas boy, old Sherman, Texas. But the eyeball test does not lie. It does not lie. I've been in games where you're playing a certain team and you're saying, we match up well. But then you play another team, you say, that's probably a lesser than team that you just don't match up well. And when you look at the Giants, that defensive line and what they can do up front, and then they isolate themselves they'll play man-to-man with anyone. And Cromartie is he's underestimated as far as his skill set. And we saw him what he did against the Redskins. They match up with anyone with the cornerbacks. I don't care who you are.
Your best
They figure
it
it out.
could be the Lions.
Yeah, your best argument is
Seahawks,
it's tough to
Absolutely.
beat a team 3 times in the same season, particularly a divisional rival. As a Giants fan, that's what would worry me about the Cowboys, especially when both games were close. They could have gone either way. They happened to go the Giants' way both games. I acknowledge that. But that's a very kind of general argument. You flipped the coin twice. It came up heads both times, so now you're hoping, it's probably going to come up tails. No.
It's not just
the coin
hope.
is a little weighted toward the Giants. That's how it is.
A little
Yes.
weighted towards
so
the
you
Giants.
should fear them because it's way weighted towards the Cowboys against Green Bay.
Teams in the Cowboys situation are 12-19. They've won 12 games, lost 19 times for that third game. I'll take that little bit of favor you might think the Giants have against what is a completely different Packer team over the last 2 months. This Packer team is not the one the Cowboys dominated in October. By the way, I think the Cowboys beat both teams.
Absolutely.
I'm not too worried about that.
I'm with you on
but
that.
I don't want to play Aaron
I actually
Rodgers.
believe either team will beat the Cowboys.
Hey,
One will just have more difficulty than
Even the Lions.
Just to be clear,
start
of
that.
course you do, because, by the way, now is your time. Now is my time. Now is the accident waiting to happen. Now we're going to see it, right?
For me, as far as I'm concerned, every day is my time. I mean, it just is what
No.
it is.
Let's
I'm
be clear.
Stephen
You know
A.
what time
But
it
all
is.
I'm trying to say is that I believe Aaron Rodgers will beat the Dallas Cowboys, or the New York Giants, led by Eli Manning, will beat the Cowboys.
Don't
It's just
forget
that
about
one might
Matthew
have a more
Stafford.
difficult path than the other. But the Dallas Cowboys are going down.
No, I'll see you in Houston. I will
Whatever.
see you in
Are
Houston.
you allowed in Houston?
Absolutely. Are you allowed in Houston?
It's not,
Are you
it's not Dallas.
serious?
It's not Dallas. Houston loves me.
I'm a Texas boy. Absolutely.
Are you?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, we will see you
Dallas
in
Cowboys,
Houston.
whatever. See,
And then you
let me ask
Giants
you a question.
fans.
Do we have your schedule? Because when the
I'll see you
Dallas
next
Cowboys,
week.
January 15th, when the Dallas Cowboys lose, are we going to be able to find you? Because you do have a tendency to disappear.
Did I
You do have a tendency to be
not just see
AWOL.
you wear a Cowboy
You
shirt the
understand
other
what I'm
day?
saying? No, I was having fun with that.
Oh,
I was
you were having fun
with that because I said I love Jerry Jones, because I was so happy, because I knew that he was trying to sabotage everything by getting Tony Romo in there. You see,
By the way,
just as much
Romo
as he
did
wants
look
that
good
Super
the other
Bowl,
day.
so what? Oh, that's where we go.
Yes, he
Tony
did.
Romo
He
looks
looked
good.
good. He looked good the
Tell
other
us
day.
more. Tell us more. Should they start?
No,
You think they
Hey,
should-
listen, they follow protocol. They follow protocol. Who's their backup? Romo.
Darren, why do I say accident waiting to happen? It doesn't matter. Tony Romo can pass for 400 yards. Let it be a last possession. Let it be the clock winding
right.
down, a minute, 2 minutes left. You need a game-winning drive. Put Tony Romo in that situation. I dare you. I double
Darren.
dare you. You know you'll
You
be
mean tell you,
nervous.
you,
Go
tell you
ahead.
why he
Go
says
ahead,
accident
Gil.
waiting to happen?
What's that?
I'll answer the question for him.
Go ahead.
Because it's the easiest prediction the world have made.
All right,
He'll be
guys,
right
we gotta
31
go.
times.
I've been right for the
Darren,
last
go
21
online,
years.
watch his final take on why he hates the Cowboys. It'll explain a lot for you.
I don't have to go online. I hear it every day.
Good to see you. You need the reason behind it. We'll see you a little later in the show.
Whatever, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Whatever.
We want you to weigh in on home on this topic. Which team should the Cowboys fear the most, the Packers or the Giants? We'll share those results a little later in the show. Again,